Guys, a 4-year-old boy has been murdered in New South Wales and his mum's been charged, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I think's gone wrong. See, this isn't just another news story for me. I was that child. At 2 years old, I had my first psychology appointment after my mum tried to kill me. She had a permanent brain injury, and professionals knew she was never going to change. There was multiple reports made. I begged to be removed from home countless times, but yet I was never taken away. So I know exactly what it feels like to live in fear. I know what it feels like to be terrorised and to curl up in a ball and shield my face while I get beaten around the head with belt buckles and my head stomped on. And I knew what it feels like to wonder why you were born and to believe that you were just created to be destroyed. And I can only imagine how this little boy felt being left in this environment. And here's the reality, just like my story. Now, that tragedy didn't begin on the day that that boy died. It began long before that. Reports in this article said that Child Protection had previous contact with the family, and now they'll be doing an independent review to see what happened. But here's what I do know. In 2024, an independent report examining the 2022 to 2023 year found that in New South Wales, around 70% of all children that met the threshold of presumed to be at risk of significant harm had their cases closed without receiving an in-home safety assessment. That's more than 80,000 children. 80,000 children who were known and didn't have it checked to define whether they were safe at home. This was exactly what happened to me. Now, we remove children from unsafe parents because we hold the parents accountable to protect them. So why don't we demand the same accountability from the systems that assume responsibility for protecting these children? If a system accepts responsibility for protecting children, then it must also accept the responsibility when it fails them. And I speak to this because I lived with the consequences my entire life of systemic failure. The lack of self-worth, the mental illness, the addiction, the hopelessness. Now, if we want a safer nation, we need to accept that children growing up in unsafe homes lead to ridiculous amounts of violent crime, family violence, addiction, homelessness, mental health issues. And a lot of these children have unresolved trauma that was never prevented, never healed, and never addressed. And a nation that fails its children cannot be surprised when it starts to show up in the streets, prisons, hospitals, addiction services, and through homelessness crisis. I've spent my entire life waiting for somebody to start asking these questions nationally, and I'm done waiting. It's time we started holding every system that accepts responsibility for a child to the same standard of accountability we accept from a parent. If it isn't good enough for someone's child, it cannot be good enough for the children of this nation. I hope this little boy's life is never forgotten, and I hope that this becomes a moment that Australia starts to stand to definitively protect children. Help me raise the voice that changes this nation. Like, share, and subscribe to join the mission.